First conversation is with Stacy London.
So I started off as an assistant to many fashion editors. Then I wound up leaving Condé Nast and becoming a freelance assistant. Yeah. And after a while, I was like, God, I'm either going to be the best assistant in the world, or I'm going to try this on my own. Yeah. So I stopped taking assisting jobs, which meant 6 months of begging my dad to help me pay my rent. And then I finally, the more jobs you say no to when you are done with a certain part of your career, the more the industry and the people in that industry will accept that you want to do something different. And that's actually a good piece of advice that I don't normally talk about. But I had to say no a lot to get people to say yes.
Say no to this thing over here.
Say no to assisting,
to,
to get clients to say, hey, you know, we have a stylist out of town, maybe Stacy could take their place. And that's how I started getting my own styling jobs. Okay. And then about a year and a half into that, I was asked back to be the senior fashion editor at Mademoiselle. And I was there for 4 years, and then I got fired by a new editor-in-chief. And, you know, I think I've talked a lot about that, about I don't really believe in failure as a word, right? But I did talk about this idea of, like, I guess my biggest failure at that time felt like I'd never been fired. So to me, that was like a very hard thing to go through. But at the same time, you know, I hate to be so cliche, but like when one door closes, you know, another one opens.
You think cliches are cliche for a reason?
Of course, because they're true. And in my case, it took about a year of me floating around, not knowing what I was going to do with myself. And thank you, Dora. I don't think of anything now as success or failure. That's after a lot of success and a lot of failure. Right. I look at it all as experience. Right. And to put value judgment words on experience like success or failure is to actually take away from experience.
Today on the show, we have Jorma. Danielle, say his name.
Jorma Taccone.
We have Jorma
Taccone.
Thank you. We have Jorma Taccone.
I can give you just my perspective of where I'm at now, sort of thing. I've done many different things, sort of thing. But freelancing is also very hard. It's kind of similar to being an actor in that you don't know where your next job is coming from. You're hustling to like find these things. You are a little rudderless in terms of like there's many different things I want to do, but like just focusing on the one thing that's going to get you to the next place is you know. So just being completely transparent, like that's something that I'm dealing with right now. I'm just like wanting to work with, you know, obviously like do more Lonely Island stuff. I do direct TV and film stuff, but like, but it's hard at this stage too. It's hard, and it's hard for your, you know, the other people that you think have made it. Everyone is sort of dealing with their own kind of anxiety, and we're living in the here and now, which is like this is a difficult time to be alive. Yeah, there's a lot of things to compare yourself to, people to compare yourself to. Doesn't mean that they're happy.
Right, exactly.
So like getting that part down is really, really important.
Today on the show we have actor and director Evan Pappas. He suffered an incredible accident that helped him see life in a different way. Evan's story is one of incredible hope.
I don't remember any of that. I still don't. People said it would come back. I understand it was ridiculous writhing pain in the ambulance getting to the hospital. But it broke my whole left side of my body. All 12 ribs, my collarbone, my pelvis, my heart was bruised, my lung collapsed. They were able to save some of my spleen. I mean, I have 3 rods in my jaw. The only scar I have is here.
Oh, yeah.
And 3 here for the lung. It was bad. I mean, it was bad. I was in ICU 3.5 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
I was in the hospital total 7. When I came out, I was about 130 pounds because I had my jaw wired shut. It was crazy.
Did you learn anything from the accident?
Yeah, you said, what did I learn? Yeah. We take our worth for granted. And what I mean by that is, here's the story. So when I was in the hospital with this, I got at Maricopa Trauma Hospital in Phoenix, which I come to find, had I not been there, so many of the doctors here in New York, when I got back and they were looking at my charts that I had to carry to every doctor, they'd look at the charts, look at me, they're like, you're not supposed to be here. And they went, oh, Maricopa. They're one of the top trauma units in the country, and they said most hospitals would not have known how to save, because I was really bad. I didn't know. I'm a theater person. We theater people just have to heal quicker. And that was in my head.
Yeah.
Even though I was not cognitive for 90% of 2 weeks, it was so much morphine and everything.
Yeah.
But I got over 600 cards and letters in Phoenix because of the theatrical community. And so I got one letter from a guy. Oh God, I hope this isn't boring. I got one letter from a guy
Not at all.
that I was reading, and it said to me, "You won't remember me." He said, "You gave me some advice that turned me around, and I always wanted to thank you, but I was intimidated."
Oh, wow.
Okay, I mean, I understand. And he said, "And now I'm thanking you while you're fighting for your life." I'm looking at this car, and I just went, "Mom!" And I showed my mom, and I just was weeping, thinking, it is true that the simplest thing we say to somebody can really profoundly affect. And that's why I say we take our worth for granted, because sometimes we think, oh, nobody cares what I have to say, nobody cares what I think, or nobody. And yet, we have to be so careful what we say.